When you've got amazing machines like this and this and this racing in events like the Transat, the Figaro Solo and the Vendée Globe, it's amazing to think that there isn't a World Championships in the shorthanded world. Because this type of racing is thriving both in the professional and amateur scenes. And yet, the absence of a world title certainly hasn't been for a lack of trying. But now, it seems there is, and you don't even need to own a boat to compete. In the build-up to the Paris Games in 2024, there was talk about making one class in the Olympics look like this.
All of the equipment approved by World Sailing for qualification events will be suitable for Paris 2024. World Sailing's Council will decide the equipment by the end of 2023, at the latest. This will ensure greater participation levels in qualification events and prevent qualified nations investing in boats and technology to gain an advantage. At the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, every boat will be supplied and will be identified.
It triggered a whole stream of 30-foot designs for double-handed sailing. Sadly, it came to nothing as the class was dropped after the Olympics decided it didn't want offshore sailing after all. But the idea wasn't, and this year the Royal Ocean Racing Club ran the Double-Handed World Championships, based out of Cowes. So, as the popular misquotation goes, if you build it, they will come. And they did. 21 mixed-gender teams representing 14 nationalities from a wide range of backgrounds arrived in the Solent to step aboard the fleet of identical Jeannot Sunfast 30s supplied by French company Cap Regatta.
I'm Domi from Uruguay and we are here for the Double-Handed Offshore World Championship.
This is a championship that we think we have a chance to put our flag in the top.
We're Team GBR1 and we're here to try and do what we wanted to do last year, which was win the championship.
We really like the offshore sailing, and the challenge of two-handed is obviously an extra challenge.
You know, a very competitive fleet, large format, 12 boats, 21 teams. It was a no-brainer. We're really looking forward to it.
We love the one design, and the fact the equipment is provided, boats are provided, means it's rock up and race, which is pretty cool. The event format with the qualifying stage and the final is pretty brutal. Yeah. This year they've added in a repechage, so effectively if we don't qualify immediately there's a second chance. But the final comes down to one race, so it's a tough format, but it's a good challenge. I think we enjoy it.
Yeah, competition stuff for sure. There's so many great sailors here, some that we've raced against before, and a lot of new faces as well, so we're really looking forward to getting out on the water.
The event started with two 24-hour qualification races in the English Channel. The first race was a 140-mile course in perfect conditions, out of the Solent to the west, before heading east to Brighton and back.
We're feeling absolutely delighted after that. It's a complete bonus, and we've got our goal done of getting to the final. I think the overall conditions of this qualifier race were great. We had wind all the way through, there was no big shutdowns, a little bit of light winds against tide.
A lot of lead changes, and really finally when we took the lead it was on the last beat.
So now start planning for the final.
We finished in second for the first qualifying. It was a tough race because not long enough to have some sleep.
We had to deal with all the current and the rocks and the wind. The next step, we start from zero and we're going to do the final. So we're happy.
An hour before the finish, I looked at my phone and saw that we were fifth, and I was like, I'll use it when the morale's a little bit low. So
now we're very happy that we made it to the finale. Our goal for the World Championship was mainly try to do our best, because I have never double-handed raced before actually. Ivar has. I did a Rourke Griffin project in 24, also on these boats, so I had a little bit of experience.
The second qualification race started in a 10-knot northeasterly, before turning into a 20 to 25 knot upwind slog after the fleet had rounded St Catherine's Point on the south side of the Isle of Wight. From there, it was a long beat to Brighton and a sleigh ride back.
Good race.
It's done.
Yes, job done. The goal was to be in the 5 for the final.
We also want to improve our settings on the boat.
Did a great start, to have the good speed and don't take too much risk, I think. We did it and I think this is the same thing we have to do to beat the other team and to win the Worlds.
Qualifying second today was big. The qualification was really hard. I think there was 7-8 boats around us at all times, and we knew if one mistake you would bounce from top 2 or 3 back to 7th. So couldn't really take your foot off the gas at all.
I guess one of the key moments for us last night, we had gusting 24 knots of wind, and it was wind against tide, so the sea state was pretty intense, and the poor boat was getting airborne off waves. And we managed to drive through that really well, just sort of kept it together and plugged away.
After this race we feel pretty happy. The goal was to get into the final, and we've done that in the top 5. We scraped it by the skin of our teeth in 5th position.
Right from the start you knew that you weren't going to sleep for the entire race. It was that intense.
What kept our heads up was just anything can happen in these boats. Like we had some close calls with lobster pots, that could happen to anybody. One bad jibe, it's just making sure you minimise errors. It's just so close.
Those that didn't make the first cut got a second chance in the Repechage, where the winner joined the finalists.
Real close finish there, and awesome to do it on the Repechage because obviously there's a bit of pressure. Even coming into the finish, we weren't sure that we were going to get it. And on the track it would have, but you probably wouldn't have been able to tell us apart. Only minutes in it in the end, and probably seconds, I think, for the 2 and 3. So to make that one spot count. So yeah, we were just really stoked.
The addition of the Repechage round this year was really a cool addition in my opinion. Like when you're thrown into the boats and you're straight into a 20-hour race, and you know you have 2 different qualifying heats, it's a good way to pull everyone back together and make sure you've got the best teams in the final.
So now, with 11 teams selected, it was time for the finals. But with the breeze now lighter, the course was slightly shorter.
The start was always in light wind, like not more than 10 knots. And we take a good start where we want to be.
I think it's a really unique opportunity, especially in like double-handed offshore sailing. We're very used to racing down here in the Solent, fully British fleet, and that's really good racing, but the calibre just gets a step higher when you invite some of the best people from each country to come. So we started battling with Uruguay when we got near Oars. They were gaining on us a bit and then we were gaining on them. The wind was so patchy and then we both had to kedge.
Yeah, when we start going backwards, we threw the anchor, and like in a moment it was cut. So there's no more stress, we just talk, we have fun, and
yeah, that's Uruguay. Tommy, do you have any words? This is so fun!
Till you realize there's more wind, you put the anchor up, fight again. So it was fun.
Like confidence is very important because with confidence you always think about your boat, your team, and that was very important in light wind like this. So we managed during all the race to stay with a little gap, enough to say it's okay for the moment, but it wasn't easy because we didn't know what could happen. When we know that the finish line would be earlier, wow, woo!
A lot of hard work, very stressful situation to put ourselves in at the end.
Yeah. We thought we'd position ourselves just to lure them, and then if he came for the roll above us, we just take him up, and then we just kept him there the whole way to the finish, and that's where he finished. So, I mean, it's 10 seconds, but as long as he's behind us, we're happy with that.
The race was tough, and yeah, it was hard to arrive so close of the second boat, just 9 or 10 seconds. Anyway, we're happy about the race we did. We're sure we can get better. It's always learning. So we're going to go for the next one and try to win.
So we feel really happy, proud to win the championship here in the coast. We make a lot of friends.
Yeah, a lot of friends. So that's cool too.
We hope to come back soon and enjoy the English breakfast again.
Among those who were watching this event closely was Sea Ventures boss Nigel Colley. As the UK agent for Jeannot, he sells plenty of boats designed for shorthanded sailing. As a self-confessed shorthanded obsessive himself, he's also one of his best customers and has done a great deal to develop shorthanded racing in the UK. So, what did he take from this event?
This really smacks of the match racing tour, where in that tour the participants go from event to event. They're given a boat, they're allocated a boat, and they go off and race on an equal basis. And I think they've achieved this quite well in this race format, which can be regionalised. It can go from region to region. It doesn't have to be in the Sunfast 30. It could be in whatever boats can be put together in the local regions. And I could actually see some sort of regional championship feeding through to a world championship, and wherever that is may depend which boats are used. But the whole format, with all the boats being equalised and all the boats being identical and being allocated so you didn't get to optimise your own boat, I think it's a great format which will work, and the best teams will come to the final.
And I guess it also means that if you're using one design boats, then you can forget about whether you're IRC, ORC or any other kind of handicap system. It doesn't matter anymore, does it?
It doesn't matter at all. You've all got equal equipment. Time on the water will matter, but the top teams will find a way to get time on the water.
Yeah, and how significant do you think it is that this was in a 30-footer? I mean, we see over the years, there's been a lot of between 30 and 35 footers. That seems to be the sweet spot for this kind of racing.
Well, I think when you're bringing international teams together who have not raced a particular boat or design before, having a small boat which is more manageable, having a small boat which is fast, fun and exciting to sail, and these are all high performance sailors, it just makes the event for them.
Look like there's an awful lot of young people doing this.
Well, yeah, and to have young people, to be able to get young people on boats like this, they've got to be affordable. So big boats are not affordable and they're too complex. Having a smaller boat simplifies the whole situation and it makes the event more achievable.
Do you think that addresses a problem that lies within the sport anyway, in that boats we know are very expensive generally, and there is concern as to whether younger sailors, sailors in their 30s can afford these kind of boats? Is this going to address that?
Even sailors in their 60s, Matt. Yeah, it will, because having it in a smaller boat, it's not that the boats are cheaper. Yes, the boats are cheaper, the sails are cheaper, the fleet logistics are cheaper, getting the boats from one race venue to another. If you've got big boats, it just makes the cost equation too much. And we need to find a way to make yacht racing more affordable for the younger generation. At the moment, they're all dependent on the older, more wealthier participants to have them on board, to lend them boats. So any initiative to try and grow the sport at the younger end will help sustain the support.
You sound You sound quite positive about this. You think you're optimistic about this as being
I think
a model for the future?
It's a great model, and the model will work in big boats, small boats. It will work better in small boats. Logistics are simpler, the costs are simpler, which means the event's going to be more affordable and it's more likely to happen.
So despite the failure of the Olympic plan, maybe there is a future for this style of racing. With the costs of boats only due to go one way, and with growing concern over where the future generations of keelboat sailors will come from, this certainly looks like being an interesting way forward.